Right, so this is episode 82 today for the Singapore Grand Prix. If you missed the previous episode at Monza, I recommend you go and check that one out as well. 228 miles an hour in a straight line at Monza there. As we've got a new rival, and that man is our former teammate, Charles Leclerc. Thought a bit of a change from George Russell. Charles needs a bit of a boost as well after his poor performance at Monza. Speaking of R&D then, Red Bull have brought an upgrade to stop them being the third worst team on the grid. They're now ahead of us, which is unfortunate on paper as we start to slip back as well. But of course, it's so close between those top 8 teams there. AlphaTauri down there, they could still be one of the fastest teams. It will vary track to track to see who is actually fastest. So we come to Singapore then. Singapore is a horrible track on F122. The AI are OP through every single corner, and I always have to lower the AI around here by quite some margin. I don't know if that's the same for you guys. Let me know in the comments below. But anyway, we're in qualifying, of course, and we need to. Well, with that first lap only P14. Zhou though faster than us because Sainz is 16th, a dreadful time for the Ferrari driver. Through sector 1, this isn't where I lose time to the AI. It's through sector 2 and 3. To be honest, we're 2.5 tenths up on Zhou's time. I do little bit of time through turn 1, but not as much as I'm going to lose now between these 90-degree right and left-handers, which I suspect is where, because they're lower speed corners, is where I'm losing the time to the AI, because of course they got their OP traction, as well as they now go through this penultimate section over the bridge almost. As well, and then this horrible understeery hairpin, which always understeers. I can never hit the apex of that. As well, now we've got the third DRS zone as well. 2 and a bit tenths up on Schwartzman, but that's really not where we want to be. We want to be further inside. We want to be in the top 10 really to be able to have a good crack of even getting some good points here. Through this corner, can't take that curb anymore because of course they redid the curb profiling around here for F122, making it a lot worse through to this section that no longer exists because of course they're building the grandstand, and then through to the final corner with 6 and a bit tenths up, so we made a lot of time up through sector 3. Where will this be? A little bit squirrely out the final corner, and it's P14. Yeah, I kind of think if a bit more time there we would have been slightly further up, like top 10, but alas, it's only P14 as Latifi was slowest of all. So we'll see what we can do. 14th of the grid, time for the race day Singapore Grand Prix.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to all of you at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot but beautiful streets of Singapore. It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and 10 rights of mostly slow corners, but we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Tsunoda, Verstappen, Albon, Magnussen and Esteban Ocon, Vettel, Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, Phoenix, Zhou, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher and Valtteri Bottas, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? Natalie Pinkham joins me once again in the commentary box. It's fantastic to have you with us today. I'm curious though, how do you think the drivers stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It'll keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
Thanks, Mark. Race strategy is going to be a one-stop, and like the previous couple of races, it's going to be a one-stop from medium to soft, because it's only slightly slower, and I think we'll have better pace compared to the AI in the second half of the race when they're all on hard or medium tyres as well. So 5 lights then, as the Alphas join me as well in the mediums for the Singapore Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's the usual start. Gasly's not been able to get Gasly off the line though. Down the inside of Gasly's, he applies a squeeze, and there's one of the Alphas up the inside. Cut the corner at turn 1 right there. As well, we'll get a replay now of Schwartzman, who just decided to dive up the inside anyway of myself and Gasly, even though Gasly, was applying the squeeze. Nothing doing there. Schwartzman has to stay behind for P15 or he's going to lose out to Schumacher. It's on the soft tyre. We've now got Gasly and Ocon. Ocon on mediums as well. So a few drivers choosing the mediums as we got the better slipstream. Unleash the power of the mighty Porsche engine. And that's a 2 wide of overtake. 3 wide there as Ocon, a bit of contact with Ocon. Now we've got a replay now. But we have gone 3 wide down the inside. We gave him plenty of room, and Gasly again applying the squeeze there and not coming out there. It does get in front of Ocon though. So now as Ocon's going to have worse time because he's going behind Mick Schumacher in the Haas car. So that Haas car, is the second worst car on the grid, and yet he's been overtaken by Schumacher. And now move up to lap 4. We've got DRS on Hamilton. Hamilton, of course, wasn't very easy to get past at Zandvoort, but we did manage it. We've managed it a lot easier here because he locked out, so thanks Lewis for that one as well. Meanwhile, a lot further at the front, the other person in the Drivers' Championship fight at the moment, apart from myself and Gasly, is Verstappen. He's up in P4 on medium compound tyres for the moment. It's pretty much as they were at the top, as Mark has decided to offer me the same strategy as I'm already on. There, not for the first time, smoking something that Jeff would on F122, as Russell has come out behind one of the Alphas, and that's Schwartzman again. So Schwartzman's having a busy race as well, and he's going to defend against, or try and defend against, the Mercedes of Russell. Russell should be able to power through though, so he did well to defend initially through turn 1, but alas lost out with DRS as well, as we come into the pits in the lap number 9 as well. And well, we're coming into the pits. There's Sainz and Verstappen on hard tyres with 5 laps to go. Don't know what they're thinking of there. We're going to move to the softs, obviously, because that's the logical and sensible situation to go to. Unfortunately, as we come out of the pits, there's Vettel, who we were almost behind, and there's Tsunoda, I think it's been jumped by Vettel, and there's Hamilton, and there's the 2 AlphaTauris, and we're back to P14, and that is pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. So we just got to knuckle down and get on with it. So we're going to start with Gasly, who does a Hamilton, locks up at that corner, thank you very much, up to P13 as well. Next up will be his teammate Kevin Magnussen, well, who's still got a outside chance of winning the championship as well if the results go his way, but he's out traction us at that corner. Can we dive it down the inside here? Go for the move, doesn't leave us space, but we take a lot of the curb there, but that is a legal overtake still. We're up to P12. As well as we did get a warning there, Magnussen didn't want to give us any space as usual. As the better news in terms of Verstappen for us and Gasly is that he's lost out and he's down to P8 as it stands, although Schwartzman is still going along lap 11 there. Now we set a purple, we're flying with purple first sector. We're now over the back of Hamilton, dark down the inside here, and we're up to P10. Lovely move there. Next up is Yuki Tsunoda, and then it'll be Vettel. It was a shame we lost so much time to Vettel because we were right behind him with DRS in that train, but alas, that's not happened. Vettel's shown his brilliant pace on the medium compound tyres, so that's probably a stretch to get Vettel, but we'll definitely get Tsunoda, and we would take P9 2 points as damage limitation to Verstappen, who's only in P7 as Schwartzman's pit. And that was the race actually. We left Tsunoda for dust. We were catching Vettel, but ran out of laps, unfortunately. The tyres also starting to go off as well. So in the end, it is P9. I will definitely take that. It's more points on the board. You know, it's a track that I don't particularly, I struggle with on this game particularly badly. To come through from P14 to P9, yes, it's not quite winning the race like we did at Monza, but it is nevertheless 2 more points on the board, and Verstappen didn't get only got P7 as well. So Russell won the race quite comfortably from Norris and Piastri securing the third sites in fourth, easily there as well. So in the Drivers' Championship, Verstappen takes the lead for the first time, I think, in a very long time in this career mode. Gasly is 2 points behind him, though. We're 7 points behind him with better races, and Albon moving in 15 points behind. Constructors, it's even it's tied between myself and AlphaTauri. Red Bull 25 points in front, but you know, as we level on points with the Leclerc in the rivalry, he leads at 5-4 based on qualifying as well. Only 600 claim. I think it'd be better for that. Leclerc isn't a bad driver there as well. As we've got retirement announcement, Valtteri Bottas has decided to give up on the Aston project. They have been so slow. They are at the back by quite some margin. That car is horrific. You know, they completely need a rebuild, a rechange there as well. But, you know, Russell finally winning a race for Mercedes. The first race win for Mercedes, I think, since either Season 2 or Season 3. So it's been a while for Mercedes as well. Clearly a track where the straight line speed of the Mercedes with the engine has been a huge problem for Mercedes on this career mode. But you know, Hamilton's also become a problem for Mercedes because he's not the Hamilton we know from real life. You know, he's clearly been badly affected and hasn't scored in the past 3 races. Even Tsunoda's managed to score, and he hadn't prior to Belgium. He hadn't scored since Season 1. Well, Piastri as well is in for good form. Sainz missed out on another podium today. Those two are in form, and they could, you know, it only takes a few races, you know, after Mexico and Portugal. That will be where I think we'll see who's actually going to be in the fight, who's got the chance of getting some good points and taking this through to at the finale at Abu Dhabi for the championship. So yes, that's where I'm going to leave it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. See plenty more F1 22 driving videos as when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.